golf. I love playing golf with everyone. It doesn't matter to me what their handicap is, or I just enjoy playing.
I know that you play with the members quite frequently, and they all come back and say, "Wow, does he hit a ball?" And the ladies, the same thing. You have fun with them, and playing with them. Tell me about your distance on the tees.
Yeah, it's
the standard wherever you are now.
Right. Back in 1979, we still had wooden drivers, and actually, I qualified for the National Long Drive Contest semifinals 3 years in a row, 1979, 80, 81. I went to Michigan to go to the semifinals, and I didn't make it to the finals. It was close. We only got like 6 balls to hit back then, and you had to perform at that time, and I didn't hit it well enough that time every year. I thought I'd make it to the finals one year, but so I love hitting the ball long. Like I said, I grew up by the lake in Bay Village, and I used to go across the street on the lake on the ledge on the other side of the fence and hit drivers into the lake. Just palm them out there. You can see them. It was so much fun hitting balls onto the lake, and the lake is really calm, and it's.
What do you think you hit a driver right now?
Well, everyone hits a driver now long now, but back then I was hitting around 300 with a wooden club. Small wooden club. I was hitting around 300. I think I hit 302 to qualify one year. But now, with the metal drivers now, I see where I used to hit it. Where I hit it now, I'm like 20 yards behind that where I used to hit it. I used to hit it to the 11. There's mounds way down on the right side. I used to drive it into those mounds. But my best drive now is probably maybe 20 yards short of those mounds. So, I'm losing distance, but I still hit it pretty good.
How about our long holes out here? I'm thinking of number 6 and 14. Have you reached them into?
6 is pretty easy to hit because the fairways are dry. The ball's going to roll, and you're going to be able to get the 6. 14 is difficult because it's 600 yards. I've been all around that green. But I've never hit it in 2. I've never hit that green in 2. I used to have that big tree on 14, and every year I would pound that 3-wood, hit a great drive, and people in the group in front of me would stand behind the green. They'll watch me, see if I can hit the green, but I failed every time. I hit that big tree so many times, and then the big tree came down in 2005, I believe it was, when the wind shear wiped out like 150 trees. I go, why didn't this happen when I was 21? Why couldn't this tree fall down when I was 21? I've been hitting this tree for so long, and now that I'm 56 now, and I go, that's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. But yeah, I love playing golf. Yeah.
Tell us about people that you have met, members over the years, of occasions, or your personal feelings towards them, and how they affected you. How you affected them?
Yeah, all the members have been very supportive of me through the years, and it's hard to pick out just a few, but they're all been really first-class people, and they all treat me well, have done a lot for me. And I remember my 30th anniversary here. They had a party upstairs in the clubhouse for me, and they all chipped in and gave me $5,000. It's $5,000. All everybody chipped in. I go, oh my gosh. Third year, they had a little buffet. They had music, and for my 30th anniversary. So this year is my 40th anniversary, but I don't want any parties anymore. I had enough parties in my life. Yeah, this is my 40th anniversary. So, all the members have been really supportive, and you meet a lot of people being a golf starter. Sports people. A lot of members here in sports. Bernie Kosar was a member here. I used to play golf with him every Monday. I played golf with Bernie Kosar. He was so much fun to play golf with. And I played golf with Oral Hershiser. He was a member here. And Charlie Manuel, I played with him. He was not a member, he was a guest. And meeting Otto Graham. Otto Graham used to play out here a lot. And meeting him was pretty classy. He was a real classy guy. And so you meet a lot of people in show business. Like Kenny G came out here, play golf, and met him. You meet a lot of celebrities in the golf business because they all play golf. So it's an added bonus working at a nice country club. The course is beautiful. It's the only Tillinghast design course in Ohio. The greens are narrow. They're just hard to hit. Of course, in fabulous condition, and it's a pleasure playing a Tillinghast course. It really is. Very classic course. Yeah.
Okay, Tom Sage, how did you come up with the nickname of Choppy?
Choppy. My nickname Choppy. Well, it was back in the early '70s. We used to have these caddy tournaments. Elyria, Avon Oaks, Westwood. We would play a match against their top 5 caddies. You know, every Monday we played a different course. It was so cool. You know, I was honored to get on the caddy team, play against other caddies. And actually, one tournament I was real young, like 14. I think I shot 78. And the next week I played it somewhere. I think it was Elyria. I shot like 98. Like, oh my God. And one of the members called me Chop. So it was every nickname sort of stuck. It was Chop for so many years. It was like 15, 20 years it was Chop. And then the last 25 years or so, it's been Choppy. You know, every time I go down to the Indians game or something, I have good seats, I hear Choppy! I hear Choppy! Choppy! So even I had a Corvette once, a Corvette I bought off one of the members, I had Choppy on the license plate, and I heard Choppy wherever I went. I heard Choppy, and
It's a memorable name.
yeah, yeah, it's fun working here. I remember 2 years ago, I went up to the ladies' member guests. They had member guests, and they went upstairs for food and afterwards and stuff, and then music, dancing. So I went up a couple hours later, went home and changed, and came up. And one time I was dancing in the middle of 20 women, and they're all taking turns coming up to me, dancing with me, and go, because I love to dance. I love the women. I love the women here. Yeah, the women really treat me well here. I love treating them, and they're a great asset to the club. I'm glad they're getting a new clubhouse for the ladies and everyone. So, yeah, I've had a lot of fun here. It's a lot of fun. But, you know, it doesn't pay much money, I have to admit. It doesn't pay much money. But it just fulfillment of playing golf here and dealing with first-class people. It's a real pleasure. So.
Back in the day when you became the starter, was the Choppy shop, so to speak, the same as it has been all through the years, or did that change?
Yeah, well, when I first started, we had a awning outside the pro shop, and we had a starter's desk underneath the awning. And so I was always outside for, you know, the Mickey Pavlik that started before me, and Ralph Napolitan that started before him, was always under an awning, under outside table. And in the summer it was super hot. I always had a fan, or in the wintertime, colder days, I had like 5 layers of. And then in 1999, they redid the clubhouse, and they redid the pro shop, and closed my starters booth in '99. So the last 10, 12 years, I've been a nice starters desk with internet, TV, heater, air conditioning. My own little chop house. I put a sign up that it's a chop house. And so now they're tearing it down this year and building a new clubhouse, a new starters desk, and I'm sure it'll look very nice when it's finished. But
have you inspected the starter's desk in the plans?
No, well, I asked for a disco in the basement, but I don't know if that got approved or not. I asked for, you know, a pole to go down to the disco card room, yeah. So hopefully that'll come through, but whatever they build is nice for me. Whatever, I'm easy, so whatever they build will be fine. So.
The disco's going to be the practice range.
Yeah.
Smacking balls into the net.
I hear they're going to move it over here by the range area, I think, and so it'll be close to the range and get people on the course.
Right.
And that's another thing about a starter. Members know that I like to run on time. I really run late because I insist. I sort of get things going all the time, and I don't know why I do this, but I should have be more lenient to people, but I don't. I don't. I go, sir, you're on the tee. Let's go. You're team.
There's no worse feeling than being out here on the practice range and hearing your name over the loudspeaker.
Yeah, for the last couple of years, I had a loudspeaker to the range, from my desk to the range, and I would call, you know, Mr. So-so, you're on the tee right now, please.
Right.
So I was very nice, polite, you know, so you're up, sir, please. But I like running on time. If you order lunch and lunch is running late, I'll bring it out to you. Please get on the tee and be on time, and it makes it more enjoyable for everyone, you know, if we're on time. So I take great pride in running on time and do my best to get everyone on the course. And
Well, in our archives, there was a time when, I think it was around the 75th anniversary, you brought a camcorder in and hung it up in a corner of your
Oh,
little,
yes.
chop shop or chop house and just let it run all day.
right, I did that a couple of times, and just to see, what really happens at the starter's desk.
Right.
What really goes through with what people say, what ladies say, what men say about different things, and it's pretty. I should have a TV show. I should have a TV show.
Sure.
yeah, the chop show or something. I don't know. It's so
A
fun.
reality show.
Yeah, but yeah, I love memorabilia stuff, and so one year I took a video of the golf course in what year it was, '94, I believe. I took a video of every hole on the golf course, and I got that somewhere. I don't know if you have it. You have, yeah. So I'm big on memorabilia stuff, and I like that stuff, and I really, I look for Lakewood Country Club stuff on eBay all the time. I do all the time. If I'm on eBay, I look for Lakewood Country Club stuff all the time. And one year I found the Golf World magazine from '66 and '68, and I found some other items, magazines and stuff from. So I look constantly for memorabilia
Have
stuff.
those magazines?
I donated to the memorabilia.
Okay.
I gave them to the yeah. I gave them what I paid for them. They gave money back. So
Good.
I'm so glad I found them. And
I know, right, one thing that I did wrong, this is a confessional type of thing now. Chop found a old golf ball, numbers of times.
right,
He told me about it, and it had a cut on it, if I remember. And it was I don't know, maybe in the 20s or 30s. It was, and so we could hardly read it. So he said, here, you see what you can do with it. So I took it home, and I scrubbed it. And it didn't quite clean up, and so I scrubbed all the markings off. I mean, I destroyed the whole thing.
It was-
And I came back to Chop, and I said, this is what and he looked at me, and as gracious as he is, I saw the curl of his mouth. What did you do? How could you do that?
yeah. Actually,
I was so petrified of that I could never forget that.
Actually, it was-
His confession
yeah.
is on tape now.
it was. I found it. I was actually walking along. For years and years, we drained the lake on 16 with Jerry Boykin and I, and a couple other backroom boys. We would clean out the lake with balls every year. We get like 5,000 balls every year, and every year I'd find 3 or 4 mesh balls, square dimpled mesh balls back from the 20s and 30s, and back then. And so I kept those. I collected those, and one of the members, Ken Stouffer, he was very big on memorabilia stuff and went to Florida, he was in the golf shows and stuff. So I gave him a collection of my about 30 balls that I had. And, one ball he sold for $1,000. The guy turned around and sold it for $3,000. And so I found other balls that are not worth as much, but, so one year I found a ball walking along the side of the bank on 15, and I look at it, I scrubbed it, I couldn't tell, I cleaned it pretty good, and it had Rudy Felix name on the ball. I go, I gotta get this memorabilia. This is Price's ball, the first head pro at Lakewood Country Club. That's the ball I gave to Mr. Ermel to clean.
Oh, no.
And I go, I can see it with a magnifying glass. I can see Rudy Felix, but if you look at my eye, it's kind of hard to see. If you look closely, you could see that it was from Rudy Felix, the first head pro. And so Mr. Ermel came back with his golf ball. I cleaned it, which, we all do dumb things. We did make mistakes like that. We don't know. We just try to get it clean, and it was. So I picked it up. He gave it back to me. I just threw it back in the lake. I go, sorry, Rudy. Sorry, Rudy. I threw it back in the lake. So it's back out in the lake somewhere. But that's all right. I mean, those things.
Tragedy, really. I'm trying to do something right.
Right. Yeah. That's
I should've
okay.
just looked at it and said, I don't know how to clean
Yeah.
this. I'm going to get or just call somebody and say, hey.
That's okay. No problem, because it's still in there, and they'll come back one day. So, and there's sure there are other balls in there too, but we don't drain the lake anymore. Like old Tom Waitrovich, he doesn't drain the lake. We did it for a few years, but then we just stopped doing it, and that lake is full of golf balls every year.
I'll bet there's more than 10,000.
Yeah, oh yeah. We average like around 5,000 balls a year. Every year, I go out there. Jerry Boykin will go out there in his boots and waders. We find all these balls, and I find some of these old collector's ball. Once in a while, you just see it pick it out of the mud, and you go, oh, it's like a rare gem. Finding this old mesh ball, and then you find balls with logo balls from back in the '70s with people's names on it. I remember I found this gentleman's name. God, I can't remember his name, but he was played long member. He was a member in the '70s, and I ran into his daughter at a convenience store, and I had the golf ball in my car. I go, here, there's your dad's name on it. I found it in the lake, and she couldn't believe it. She couldn't believe it. I go, this is your dad's ball, and she was like, she was really emotional
Yes,
that I found this ball. And she,
that's a great story.
yeah, that's. So I always look for stuff like that, you know.